Long ago, in a land called Judah, there was a time when food became very scarce. During this difficult period, a family named Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, made a very big decision. They chose to leave their hometown of Bethlehem in Judah and travel to a nearby country called Moab, hoping to find enough food and a better life there. Life in Judah had become very hard for many people due to a severe famine. This meant that the fields did not grow enough crops, and there was not enough food for everyone. So, moving to another country was a way for families like Elimelech's to survive. In Moab, they settled down, and the two sons eventually married local women. Our story focuses on Naomi, a kind woman from Bethlehem, and Ruth, a young woman from Moab. Ruth was the wife of Mahlon, one of Naomi's sons. These two women, one older and one younger, found themselves connected by marriage and by the experiences they shared in Moab. For a time, life in Moab seemed to offer some stability for Naomi's family. However, sorrow soon found them. First, Elimelech, Naomi's husband, passed away. Some years later, both of her sons, Mahlon and Chilion, also died. This left Naomi a widow with no children in a foreign land, with only her two daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah. This was a time of great loss and hardship. One day, Naomi heard news that the famine in Judah had ended. She learned that the Lord had visited his people and provided food for them once again. Feeling that there was no reason to stay in Moab, and believing that God was now restoring her homeland, Naomi decided to return to Bethlehem, her original home. This decision marked a turning point, as it meant leaving her current life behind and embarking on a journey back to her roots. Naomi then turned to her two daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah, and told them to go back to their own mothers' homes in Moab. She wished them well and prayed that they would find new husbands and new lives among their own people. Orpah, though sad, chose to return to her family. But Ruth, with a deep sense of loyalty and love for Naomi, refused to leave her. She declared that she would go wherever Naomi went, and that Naomi's people would be her people. So, Naomi and Ruth set out on the long journey back to Bethlehem. When they arrived, however, they were two widows with no means of support in a new place for Ruth. They faced significant challenges. They had no land to farm, no family to rely on for daily food, and Ruth, being a Moabite, was a stranger in Judah. Poverty and uncertainty cast a shadow over their future. To find food, Ruth went to the fields to glean, which meant picking up leftover grain after the harvesters had passed. As fate would have it, she began working in a field belonging to a man named Boaz. Boaz was a relative of Naomi's late husband, Elimelech, and he was known as a man of good character. When Boaz saw Ruth working diligently in his field, he took notice of her. Boaz, having heard about Ruth's kindness to Naomi and her dedication, showed her great favor. He told his workers to let her glean freely and even to leave extra bundles of grain for her to find. He also invited her to eat with his own reapers and offered her protection in his fields. Ruth returned home that evening with a generous amount of grain, far more than she could have expected, bringing a sense of relief and hope to Naomi. Over the next weeks and months, the situation for Naomi and Ruth slowly but surely improved. Naomi, understanding the customs of their land, recognized Boaz's kindness and encouraged Ruth to continue gleaning in his fields. Naomi then guided Ruth on a path that would formalize Boaz's role as a family redeemer. Boaz, being a man of integrity, carefully followed all the legal steps and traditions to marry Ruth and restore Naomi's family name and property. From this story, we can learn a valuable lesson. Loyalty, kindness, and honest hard work can lead to unexpected blessings and new beginnings, even after times of great difficulty. It shows how caring for others and acting with integrity can bring about positive changes for everyone involved. In the end, Ruth married Boaz, and they had a son named Obed. Obed later became the father of Jesse, who was the father of David, a future king of Israel. Through Ruth's loyalty and Boaz's kindness, Naomi's family was not only restored but became part of an important lineage, bringing peace and a hopeful future after a time of great sorrow.